Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Gold and silver are up a bit as there's more continued discussion and woes and fears with regards to the coronavirus. We'll discuss that as well as other things that are happening that are causing the markets to move in certain ways. So let's find out exactly what's going on here. Due to the fast-spreading coronavirus buoyed safe haven demand as the Federal Reserve left rates steady. Spot gold was up 0.65% at $1,776.07. Actually, that's a typo. That should be 1,577. They're saying $15,776, but it's the U.S. gold futures rose 0.36% by 1576.30. The U.S. Central Bank kept interest rates unchanged at its policy meeting on Wednesday, which was not a surprise. Investors will want to hear whether its chairman, Jerome Powell, retains his cautiously upbeat language. And he actually did give that speech, and this is already updated, but he basically was saying that there's going to be moderate growth. Lower interest rates and decrease the opportunity cost of holding non-yielding bullion and weigh on the dollar, making gold cheaper for investors holding other currencies. Other than the Fed factor, reasons for investors' interest in gold are the coronavirus impact and how it will affect the Chinese economic data. You know, the coronavirus is all over the place, but it is something where here in the United States there's only 5 cases. A plane has landed with about 200 folks that I believe will obviously be thoroughly checked. No one really knows when the incubation period will be. Some say it's between several days to a week. And it's kind of the same situation that they had with SARS. They're hard at work at a vaccine, but we may be several months out. There are other Americans in China now that are wanting to get out that are near this. But nonetheless, with only 5 cases right now confirmed and about 100 that they're keeping an eye on, more than likely they'll be very careful with it. So some of those fears have kind of subsided a bit, at least for now. And the unknown factor is what China is really doing about it. Apparently they're building hospitals at a record rate right now. But nonetheless, if it spreads eastward or westward through other factors and other ways in other countries, it can make its way back here through other avenues. So that's something we have to really keep in mind. Also, for Western Europe, we've not really heard much about the virus in other nations around the world. Here in American media, it's not really talking about that. But nonetheless, the United States and Japan evacuated their nationals from a quarantine city in Wuhan in China, where British Airways suspended flights as deaths from the outbreak rose to 132. And the first cases emerged in the Middle East. So I guess there is some talk about how it is spreading to the Middle East there. Although better than expected corporate earnings helped drive a slight recovery in financial markets, fears over the economic fallout from the outbreak weighed on investor appetite for riskier assets. On Tuesday, gold prices fell nearly 1% after positive U.S. economic data lifted equity markets along with the dollar. Further bolstering gold's appeal, U.S. Treasury yields also fell on concerns surrounding the epidemic. The main driver for gold this year will be strategic inflows, as it will continue to be viewed as an attractive diversifier for investor portfolios in an environment where rates remain low, UBS strategist Joni Teves said. Elsewhere, palladium fell 1% to $22.65.91 per ounce, while platinum eased 0.3% to $9.82. Palladium will cost on average more than twice as much as platinum this year, but that premium will narrow in 2021, Reuters poll showed. So there's another, someone else and other polling showed that platinum could possibly go up next year. Silver rose 0.2% to $17.48, having earlier dipped to its lowest since December 23rd at $17.35. Now, another factor that will have come into play that this article doesn't talk about, but is a very historic day today. President Donald Trump signed the USMCA trade deal. That's right. And it's saying that it could increase the GDP by 1.2%, which would be huge for sure. That could be a real booster for the economy. I think we're only waiting on Canada to sign it on their end, and then things can start to go. With the phase one deal for China already signed, and waiting for Canada to sign the USMCA, well, I think we might be on the verge of potentially more economic stimulus in the trading sectors with movement of goods and services across borders. We'll see how that plays out. But of course, when you think about it in terms of viruses and the like, a lot of people work in an area where those goods and services are being traded across borders, and some of those germs get on some products. I don't know how long that kind of stuff will last on products or goods and services, but it's something to think about. Obviously, foodborne type thing is another situation too you have to think about, but nonetheless, very interesting and fascinating indeed. So, trade, and that could mean that if some of that stuff goes into effect this year, then, we might see the precious metal prices go down. But looking at the metals for today, their performance for today is as follows. Gold is, other than rhodium, which is in a world by itself, it's at $9,800, which is the highest I've seen it, with the moving charts there. That is fascinating, a 2.3% increase. It's getting closer to that $10,000 level. Palladium is up $13 with a 0.60% increase, but the big winner of the day is gold. And gold is that ultimate safe haven. That's where people are putting their money for preserving their wealth. But make no mistake, silver is going up with it as well. It's just not performing as well, and it took a pretty big hit yesterday, but it's now $17.62. And so keep in mind that's where it is, and maybe we'll see $18 again. I still am of the belief that we will see $20 silver sometime this year. And we'll find out, and we'll see where it goes. But one thing's for sure, in times like this, silver will move along with gold and the other precious metals in times of uncertainty and fear is driven by that, whether it be as a commodity or as money. And as I said, I like to see it as hibernating money. It's just asleep for now. But nonetheless, that's where the precious metals are right now. We'll continue to keep up with the news and see how things go with the precious metals. But this is a lesson for us. I'm kind of at a pause, a standstill, well, for more reasons than one, in purchasing gold because of the, I think it's unusually high now because of the fear surrounding the coronavirus. So I'm going to wait till that subsides. Once that's out of the way, unless something else comes along that can spook the markets, well, more than likely gold will probably go back down, because I'm going to try to pick up some more gold if I can this year. And so we'll go there. But I'm trying to get a little more silver too. But there you go. There is the news for the day, and looking at where the markets are and how they're reacting. The coronavirus continues to kind of lead things there in that regard, and we'll see what the fallout is of the signed trade deal today and phase one agreement with the United States and China. There you have it. I post videos on a daily basis as a reminder, so if you don't see a notification, or somehow you got kicked off, you don't see it in the subscription feed and you're interested, you can always go to the channel page and see the videos there. Like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, very important, and subscribe. Oh, and comment too. Forgot to say that. Greetings from one of